Hello, everyone. Welcome to the office hours here on the ViaMonstra Academy. This is where you can get updates and ask questions on Intune, MDT, Config Manager, and much more. I'm Johan, Andrew is Andrew, and will be your host for the next hour here. And that being said, let the intro play, and let's get the show on the road. All right. Hello, Andrew. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Fantastic. This is the day. Dressed up for the occasion, of course.
Yes.
One does not simply not dress up on a day such as this.
Doesn't get
When are you
much better than Star Wars Day.
It doesn't get much better than that. So when are you starting to watch the show?
I think, I might have to squeeze an episode in. And
there you go. That's good.
How about you?
All right. Other than that, but exciting times and exciting week, I'll say, in our little IT Pro community here.
Yeah, totally. I heard a little something about Windows 11.
That might have been true. Yeah, being released yesterday, indeed.
Yeah, maybe a new version come out. I saw a couple of tweets that it was even available quite quickly for the first time that I can remember.
Yeah, I almost fell off the chair. It's like up on the volume license side the same day as the Visual Studio subscriptions. That is unheard of. That's not
never
how
seen
we do
it.
things. No. That's, but anyhow, that was cool.
Yeah.
I have a little, not that one, that was a lab we did earlier. I prepared a WordPad document. Are you excited?
I love your WordPad documents. Yes, I am excited.
All right. So here it is, shiny and bright. Windows 10, to start with that one, going to this one. I saw a post from Niehaus showing the enablement packages to do that route. Haven't had a chance to try it yet, but at least I saw the tweet there. Was a post from, I believe, was Neo when he retweeted. And I'll see if I can find that in just a second here. Now, I was really hoping that Windows 11 will also do this, but no. Congratulations. This is back to what we often label as a full in-place upgrade. Didn't have a chance to try out this one yet. I saw someone on Twitter yesterday did an early test on his own machine, and it took about half an hour to get it upgraded. And that's usually what we've seen in the past running full in-place upgrade. So a little bit sad about this one not being an EKB as well. I was kind of hoping for it because it would make organizations wanted to go to that version more quickly. But all right, here we are. Let's see if I can find that little tweet because I did retweet it. Niehaus is usually easy to find too.
And I think I saw one related to this that I will also try to find from Brian Dam, who had asked some questions about why this would need to be a full in-place upgrade. And largely it was some features require it, but not many details. I don't know if you happen to come across that too, but it sounded sort of nebulous.
Yeah, I didn't see that one. So if you have that link, I'll be happy to share it. That's obviously not that one. Let me restart my browsers here. I apparently have a lot of junk and maybe not suitable for all kind of live stream. Let's see here. Anyhow, here was the tweet from Niehaus, and he just confirmed through NeoWin that indeed, 22H2 is coming as well for Windows 10, and this is what the EKB packages looked like for 22H2. So excellent stuff there. And you have a link for me. Perfect. I will put that one in the chat as a chat in the on the screen as well. And Brian Adam is indeed a creative gentleman. So yeah, okay, fair enough.
So just a lot of good, discussion I'm seeing the last couple of days, really.
Yeah. So I'm excited to try it out. And in fact, last night at close to midnight, it was, I downloaded it from my Visual Studio subscription. So up here on, that's not Visual Studio, is it? Here we go. I'll pick my account. And just a moment there, it said, I am sharing my screen, right, still? Yes, I am. Double checking.
Yep.
So, of course, this is the business edition. This is turned out to be build 382. Not like the website claimed build 581. So the second you deploy it, you have to update it. They didn't quite get the September update in, it seems, into the build, at least for what can be read. But that one is available for download. And as it happens, I downloaded it. And I figured I can mount that one on one of my MDT servers, and we can try it out live for the first time. Because, again, what can possibly go wrong in a live demo? So I'm going to go ahead and mount that ISO. It should be in my downloads folder somewhere. Here we go. Fresh of the website. And I'm going to make it simple for myself and just import one of the indexes. So I'm going to go to my production deployment share, because one test new builds best in production, as you do. Didn't have a chance to create a reference image or anything like that, and I don't think I'm going to need one. So I'm going to borrow that one real quick. I'm going to borrow an image. It's going to be in the sources folder, install.vim. Thank you very much. I don't need those. I'm going to call it an 11 64 22H2. Something clever. Brilliant name. And shouldn't take long. Fairly happy server. And freshly deduped also, as you noticed the other day. I was starting to run out of disk space. So here we go.
Glad you were able to take care of that.
Yes. A little bit of house cleaning, I think. These I will keep. This one I'll keep. The rest I will not keep. That was the bulk package. I did not mean to go that one. And I'm going to name it something clever. 22H2. So here we have the build number, 382, or 22621, 382. And let's fire up a VM and test it out. I'm excited. Let's going to go to a clean snapshot. Going to go to a drive where I have my boot media for this one. I have purposely stayed away from 80K 22H2 because it's kind of broken and I don't like it. 821X has a problem that can be worked around. HTA is broken. ATSI components are broken. Plus, it's not tested, so I'm good with this. And of course, my Star Wars background, as it should be. The Empire Strikes Back, I think this one is from.
Love it.
Yeah. So I probably should create a sequence also for it. That would probably be helpful. So just importing the image is not quite enough. So I'm going to borrow that name. I'm going to create a new sequence. Windows 11 x64. Let's see. That would do fine. All right. I'm gonna call it 20H2. I'm gonna pick my client template. Gonna pick my 22H2 thing. And I have created a sequence. The default is just fine. Go back to my little client and I'm gonna hit F5 to refresh the sequence list. I have my 22 sequence. All right, give it a name. Test04. Join the domain, it's fine. Perfect English, good stuff. And see what happens. This is exciting times. So on the topic, do we have any questions coming in already? Have you been? Yes, I see a few.
Some comments, a question.
All right. Like to share those while I'm watching the screen over here.
Yeah, so we had Matt said hi. Hello, Matt. Thanks for joining us today. We have, so it looks like all of these are from YouTube. Org Wizard is saying, wondering who at Microsoft thought it was a good idea to give OEMs more ability to customize Windows 11 than enterprises. It's like the XP days again.
Well, one can argue that knowing what Microsoft knew when they released Windows 11, that they should have more customizations options from the beginning, because they did that mistake with Windows 10. Early versions of Windows 10 back in 1507, 1511 times, the customizations options were fairly limited. But after enterprises requesting more features, sometimes often quite loudly, they were added into the mix. You would think that Windows 11 would have at least a comparable feature set when it started, because it was, after all, 6 years down the road of Windows 10. But no, I think it started over on that part. So we'll see. Come again in 3-4 years, and we might be back to where we were with Windows 10.
Right. All right. Matt's also asking, Johan, I have an error when I import drivers. Configuration Manager cannot import the specified driver folder. Verify that the folder exists. Have you seen that? And any ideas on how to fix?
I have, but first, in general, with the rare exception of boot image drivers, I don't really recommend to import any driver into the Config Manager driver library, driver repository. It only serves 2-3 things that you shouldn't need. The information about the driver that you will ever query ever. It will just bloat the database. It will restrict what you can use the package for. And we have seen distribution point issues with driver package specifically. In my most humble, well, it's not so humble really. That was the reboot, by the way. I strongly recommend to create legacy driver packages as normal config manager packages. And even when doing so, make sure to go ahead and also compress the content into a WIM file. So you have it as a single download instead of having to download 1,000 small files. And then just have a single script that applies them. But to answer the real question, because I can get the idea of importing drivers for boot images, because it makes it easy to assign them. What I found, if you get an error message like that, it's usually that the site server doesn't have permission to the folder. The driver import, for whatever reason, is different from all other package sources. The server needs more than change. So there is a few extra attributes or permissions that you need to assign to do a driver import. So I usually just give the site server full control to that folder to which I import in drivers from. So if you have the drivers up on a NAS device or DFS share, when importing drivers, it may need more permissions than your normal packages would need. Also make sure that the files are not blocked. If you got the drivers in a zip file and the zip file was blocked because it was downloaded from internet, and you unpack it using not Explorer, it may still have those attributes. So basically right-click the file under properties or use streams from sysinternals to remove the file attribute or PowerShell to remove the attribute from the files. Those are the things I've seen when importing drivers. A favorite solution of mine is to simply fire up Procmon, set a filter for the driver folder that you specify, and see if you get like an access denied type error from the site server itself when you're importing those drivers. So Procmon is your absolute best friend. I use it, feels like every other week at least. But when you start Procmon the first time or when you launch it, simply press Control-E quickly, or Control-L, sorry, to get the filter up. And in this case, I was apparently troubleshooting driver sources. And then it will only show what the config manager is doing with that specific folder at the moment. So good stuff. I'm going to close this one again. There we go. All right, let's see how our clients are behaving. Slightly different spinning wheel, right? It's no, that was in the original Windows 11 too. Or is it just a little bit different? I'm not entirely sure. It's definitely not the Windows 10 one, I can tell you that. But.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
All right. Okay, so let's see what else was coming in.
Let's see, we had another question about is there a way to force a specific management point during OSD in WinPE? It's not respecting our boundary group preferred site, so it ends up using the farthest management point, adding latency to all OSD tasks.
So when you're creating a media, or like a USB stick, you have the option of specifying which MP it should be using. It should honor your boundaries unless you are allowing it to contact or fall back to other boundaries. I have seen some tricks with host files over the years to force it to go to a different server. I saw some registry keys back in the days that forced the client to go to a different specific boot image or a specific management point. I remember Rob Marshall wrote even a little utility that he added to the boot image to control that behavior. But I haven't seen the need for that as of late. I think I would have to see some log files to get a better understanding on what's going on there. Since you were posting on that was on YouTube, drop me an email with the log files. You find the contact info on not there, but up on the Academy, there is a contact thing. You can drop an email. I can take a quick look and see if I see something, but it's nothing else I know on the top of my head. Do you happen to know, Andrew?
I do not. I've not run across that.
All right. Let's see, what else do we have?
Are we aware of any issues with a specific registry key? Do not connect to Windows Update Internet locations, causing check online for updates from Microsoft Update to not appear. That is the registry key that prevents Windows from connecting to any Windows Update Internet locations. So that wouldn't surprise me. I've not seen, I've not encountered that exact behavior with this registry key, but
yeah, for reference, I will put the key up here on the screen. If so, this was basically the question.
Yes, thank you.
So this was the key. If anyone happen to know for sure, by all means, let us know. Otherwise, I'll stick with Andrew Supply because he does software updates a lot.
Indeed. Yeah, it's actually an interesting test. I'll test that out later, but that would make sense. All right. Any good guides to get rid of pre-installed teams, uninstalled in reference image and in task sequence, and still ends up somehow getting reinstalled?
I'm assuming they refer to the consumer version.
It's, I think the only one I'm aware of that's pre-installed.
Yeah. I've seen 2 guides for it. I believe Niehaus wrote one of them, and if it was Gary or Adam who did the other. Let me check that real quick.
I've got Michael Niehaus's blog post here. I think this is the one.
All right, then we have a Windows deployed success, it says. That's good, right?
That is good.
So apparently MDT 8456 with a hotfix, even it has been updated in 2 years, happily accepted a Windows 11 version 22H2. Extremely shiny, extremely live. Also,
That hot off the presses.
out of the presses indeed. All right. So, all right, there you find the post. I will share it. So here was Michael's guide on how to get rid of Teams, the consumer experience. Not the consumer experience, the consumer version of Teams. So that this is basically what happens when marketing gets to decide things they shouldn't decide on. But it ended up in Windows anyway. So. We'll make sure to share this link together with the other links. And for those of you that are new to our office hours, every evening or morning after the office hours, up on our YouTube channel, we do post all the links on the description under the different sessions. And what do you know? There's a live streaming going on here. You should probably check it out. So anyhow, that one is there. All right. And any other stuff from your end, and anything new and shiny? I don't see any more questions at the moment. So,
I found several tweets surrounding updates to community tools, ADMX templates, things like that related to the release of 22H2.
all right.
That I can share a few of those, and we can drop those into the links.
That sounds good, sir.
Share my screen here. How's that look?
It's not shared yet, so let me do the magic here and here.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got this had the blog post for the new ADMX templates, as well as the group policy settings reference. The driver automation tool, already updated for 22H2, Windows 11 22H2.
Maurice is fast.
Fast. He's not the only one that's fast. Our friend Dave Segura, also fast. OSDCloud, updated for Windows 11 22H2.
Yep.
Microsoft itself, feature update policies in Intune, supporting Windows 11 22H2 on day 0. I'll take that.
Yep, that is nice.
And those were I'm sure I've missed a few, but those were the main ones I found. that were pretty cool. And I did see the 2209 service release of Intune was posted on What's New with Intune.
This is an exciting week. It feels almost like an Ignite week, but it's several weeks before Ignite.
Yeah. Which hopefully, once that comes up, that should be a fun office hours live stream for us.
Oh yeah, I would like that one for sure. Well, I had one thing I wanted to share. If you were done with that one.
Yeah.
So, me and good friend Michael Nystrom, we had a great release earlier, and that was a brand new version of our little pet project, Friends of MDT, which we published a new version of the platform, or the extension to MDT, or I should say that add HTTPS capabilities for cloud imaging and also peer-to-peer for deployment through MDT, so they can get content from a friend instead of having to download over internet every single time. And I have not yet tested 22H2 on that version either, because it came one day after we released the new version. So I figured, why not? Why not do that and see what happens? Totally untested, have no idea if it will work or not, but again, it's only live, so what, again, can't go wrong. So I'm going to go to one of my other deployment servers. I have a few, as you do. And I'm going to mount the same ISO on this one. That was not an ISO, was it? That was a network. Gonna pick the downloaded ISO. Hit OK. Gonna head over to that server. It's down here. And I'm gonna basically repeat that process on this deployment share. Custom image. Gonna pick the source file. This time I think I will remember to actually create the ISO or the sequence. So for those of you who haven't seen the extension for MDT that we based on PowerShell, is basically if you go into a deployment share that have the extension, you will see that all VB scripts are gone and just replaced with PowerShell scripts instead. You still use the workbench as usual to manage stuff, but we tricked the sequence into doing something else. So once again, a little bit of cleanup.
Johan, do you have a post or documentation or something that you point people towards to get this configured for the first time?
Yes, I do. I do. It's terribly complicated, actually. You go here and you click documentation.
All right.
It's just so that's anyhow, I'm gonna get rid of these guys. I think I deleted the right stuff. We'll see. So this is gonna be our 422H2 version. I'm gonna create a sequence. Create a Windows 11 folder, not that I have to, but it's kind of nice. So import new sequence, Windows 11 x64, call it that. And I'm gonna pick our template that we use. I'm gonna pick the OS image. I have a sequence. The sequence is much shorter than usual, but it's here. I'm gonna skip the Windows update step for now, because otherwise it's just gonna do that for a while. But I'll go to one of my machines here. PSD1, go to a clean snapshot. Do it on that ISO. I hope the VM actually starts.
Crossing my fingers. Hey.
Well, booting an ISO usually is it's the stuff that happens next that is. So yeah, background loads. It's a good old-fashioned BG info that we just tweaked a little bit to be able to process the information on it in real time. And as you will see shortly, it's no longer using a whack share to talk to the NDT server. It's actually, if I zoom in here, it's using an HTTPS connection. So we're actually using a web server. So we run this in Azure, we run this in Amazon. You can run it on your network as well, of course. This wizard is new with Dick Tracy, a Microsoft fellow that helped us create this one in pure PowerShell. Quite the amount of code to actually do this, but he managed to put that, fix that one in. So it's way nicer than the one we had before, put it that way. Going to pick my sequence. Yeah, this is a good name as any. Admin password, keyboard, summary, and see what happens.
All right.
Untested grounds. We may very well have to put in some adjustments for 22H2, but all right, we'll see. We'll leave this one running.
So far, so good.
Well, yeah. Okay. There was a question coming in on YouTube. Not sure if I missed it, but have you heard if 22H2 will be enablement package or full upgrade? We just covered that when we started. So unfortunately, Windows 11 is not an enablement package to go to 22H2. You have to go through the full servicing experience to get to that release. So yeah, there's that one. Matt is asking, that was actually a follow-up question or comment to a question last week. Can you please show how to migrate a sequence from an old server to a new one, or from a different server to a new one? I can definitely try. What can go wrong with that?
Live demo day.
This is live demo day. So this one I will just leave for a second. Can come back to that one a bit. Here I have one server. Here I have another one, different environments. So I will export out a sequence out of this one. Let's see something that is not stupidly big. See what I have in this one. That one should do it. Has an image. All right, right click, export. Setup exported TS format. I think that was the name. .zip. It's going to take a little bit, even though this server is going to take a little bit. In the meantime, we can. There was something it didn't like. one of the driver packages. All right, that's fine. We cannot skip that one.
I just hear Kylo yawning back there.
Yeah, he's. Okay, I think I know what that is. I did a rename of a folder. I thought I had updated all references to it. Apparently I did not, but folders can have multiple shares, so why not? Was it sources it complained about?
Mm-hmm.
Sources dollar even. All right. This will be fantastic. All right. See again if it can. I'm gonna try this one more time. See if it likes it. Because that folder definitely exists now. I think. Yeah, it does.
Mm-hmm.
Let me start this wizard again. Colon setup export ts format.zip. In the meantime, we can take a look on this one here. It booted into Windows. This one we don't have an error this time around. And it's going to export a sequence.
Yeah, maybe just running the wizard again did some new validation on that.
Yeah, it didn't seem like a refresh was in order there. It's like it decided that, well, it wasn't there before, it's not going to be there now.
Yeah.
All right, so this one is running. Our deployment is running. It looks like the wizard completed. All right, so I have this one here. So this was my setup folder with the export files and the export zip. I will copy that over to my host because I cannot copy it directly to that. It shouldn't take too long. Decent network connectivity.
Not too shabby.
Beats my internet connection at least. And then I will go to my other site server and connect to the same host. And I'm going to copy this over to my sources folder here. Let's see what I have. You can see how our deployment is going. Still getting ready. All right, and we can try to import it. So, import sequence. Browse for the zip file. Sources. Import at zip. All right, that's perfectly okay. Didn't like my BitLocker. Let's see what it's. Okay, that's fine. see if I actually get the sequence or not. There have been some bugs lately. I think it was back in 2103, 2107. We talked about that last week from the import-export. But I think they have been fixed. All right, we have improved here. We are at the just a moment screen. All right, going back here, it's still importing. Yeah, told you, updates.
Just like when you buy a new video game these days.
Yeah, first I have to download a 50 gig update. All right, the sequence imported. I wonder if it actually created that sequence package at all. It says success and then import failure. So let's see if we have a BitLocker sequence here. We did not. So that import it did not like. It could very well be that I had something wrong with that package on this end that I imported or exported from. I would have to do some troubleshooting at that, but this is otherwise the process to export and import sequences. For example, a useful resource that we mentioned many times here on the office hours is Gary's sequence collection that you can download that offers like 2021 some sequences with a lot of golden stuff that you can import in the same way into Config Manager. And that's exactly what I had done here earlier. Just imported those sequences here. But yeah. Exciting times. Let's see. Jeff is asking, are there still issues with ADMX templates where you may need to have them separate for Windows 11 and Windows 10? I haven't had a chance to test out the new 22H2 templates, but what we have done for the previous version is to actually use the Windows 11 ones for Windows 10. And in the rare scenarios that there was something we couldn't edit for Windows 10 using the Windows 11 template, I just had a separate admin station where I forced the group policy management console to use the local repository instead of the central group policy process, or the central repository that are used by default. So untested for 22H2, but for 21H2, it's been working quite well to have those templates on the Windows 11 version up on the servers on the central repo, and then deal with exceptions from a management VM or a few management VMs. But I'll say it looks so far not bad at all.
Looks like a desktop to me.
Looks like the desktop to me, and this is 22H2. Only difference here, okay, it wasn't really done yet. It was finished. But it deployed over HTTPS. So cloud imaging, real life.
Very cool stuff.
Yes. All right, let's see. Another question coming in on YouTube. SMS provider status is... The status for SMS providers is not running, and config manager service manager is not there to start it. So see if I get that question right. So in the monitoring node, where you have the system status and all the different components, where you can start the good old service manager. There was a reference to something being missing. The SMS provider. Let's see. I don't see it from here either. Unless I'm blind on my... Unless it's this one that is being referred to. So any component you can also always query, and it should give you a status for you. But if it doesn't exist and shows unknown, I have not seen that.
Yeah, it looks the same on my site server as well. For what it's worth.
Yeah. I have not seen this one showing up in a different status. That will have to be some log file troubleshooting on that one, I'm afraid. All right, let's go back to our machine. It deployed. Yay.
Awesome.
Yeah. Success is good. All right, any other questions out there? We have a whopping 10 minutes to spare.
You know what, Johan? If you go, let's see, SMS providers. Oh, yeah, you're right there. SMS providers, type unknown. Right at the top of your list there, the third one down.
This one?
Yeah, so maybe that's what Matt's referring to.
Could be.
Mine shows unknown as well.
Well, nothing much the last day. See if I show a few more days back. Like a week back.
But yeah, once you open up the service manager, I don't see anything there.
No. I do not know about this one. If anyone happened to know, feel free to point something in the chat. But I can tell you it's working because I'm deploying this every single day. It's one of our main lab servers. Can we go up to my other one as well and check? Yeah, same here. Unknown.
Yeah, so seeing it not running probably is a concern, but the unknown looks
This
to
might
us like
very well. This one here may it may be a feature.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, speaking of features, there was a hotfix released. Was it last night or was it Monday?
It was last night.
For forgot which version it was.
2103 onward.
Yeah, I don't see it on this one. Check for updates, maybe.
I just dropped a tweet in the chat too if you want to pull that up.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Assuming we're talking about the same one.
I think so. The NTLM authentication fix.
Yep.
Yeah, this one. Important one. And make sure to put that in the chat as well.
Cool. Poor guy's just starved for dad's attention.
This one?
Yeah.
This floofer? What do you want? I know what he wants. It's that time of day. It's actually not food. It's just heading outside to the other side of the door.
Yes.
Yeah. Purposely not saying those words.
Smart man.
Yeah. You'd have to wait a few more minutes, sir. Yep, you can hold it.
I saw another cool thing while you were showing a demo. Scott Duffy from Microsoft actually tweeted two of his favorite features from the 2209 release of Intune. And if you want to swap over to my screen for a moment, I thought this is a cool little update.
Yeah, I will when I find your screen. Here we go.
It's somewhere.
How about that?
In the assignments UI, it's actually showing how many devices and users are in the assigned groups.
Yay. Nice.
Yeah, that's a cool little improvement, especially if you can tell that, hey, it's not assigned to anything.
Kind of
surely, yeah, surely we've never run into that before, right? Why isn't this working?
Yep.
So I thought that was a cool, again, very hot off the presses.
Yeah, that was nice. That was real nice.
Yeah.
All right, I don't see anything else, so guess it leaves us to wrap it up. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining today, and as usual, we'll be back next Wednesday, 4:30. Have a great rest of your week, and thank you again so much.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great week.